you could just tell that we were making an impact on the game with our energy, our disposition, really active, particularly on the defensive end. And it allowed us to get out in the open court, and guys were really playing with athleticism and speed. It was more about our energy and sacrificing with that energy and speed than it was about anything else. So it was a good win. In the process, that was the most important thing in my mind.
Erik, after last night, I know sometimes there are mental health games in the NBA, and you could see it with Dwayne and LeBron celebrating in transition. Was it important mental health-wise to put last night aside to show that it's just a one-game anomaly, that you guys can play together?
Well, it was important that we didn't just put it aside. No, we had to address it and watch that first quarter from last night to really remind ourselves to not take this process for granted, but rather to come out with the style of basketball that we've been working on so hard the last 6 weeks. But it's a work game, it's a grind game. Defensively, the guys were very active, and again, they played extremely hard.
Erik, can something be gleaned from the fact that this is the first time you're going to see, that you saw a team for a second time, and you saw the way they may or may not have adjusted certain things? Can anything sort of be taken away from that perspective as far as teams getting
yeah, a little bit, but you know what, Tim, we spent less time today in the shoot-around on their tendencies and their plays, and it was more about us. And I even mentioned that tonight was about a nameless, faceless opponent. We needed to come back and really establish our toughness, our disposition defensively. The guys really took that to heart. And I was glad that they were having fun out there, being active, making plays defensively, and getting the open court. Hardly made any half-court calls. And that's what we wanted to establish tonight.
Erik, before the game, you stressed the importance of rebounding. You guys beat them on the boards today. Obviously, are you encouraged by that? What did you see out there?
Yeah, it was a better effort. We still can do a little bit better blocking out and getting off the floor. Being athletic. When the ball's up in the air, well, that's when the game starts. And you got to finish it with athletic plays, rebounds in traffic, or if you can't get it, tip it to somebody else. But there was certainly a more conscious effort and focus on that. The guys all knew that we out-rebounded. It was certainly a priority and something we stressed in the walkthrough before. And it's a very good rebounding team as well. They're big and they're active, and the kid Favors, he plays above the rim, so they do present some challenges on the glass.
Erik, to see LeBron and over here, see LeBron and Dwayne get out in transition like that so much. I mean, is there a situation where you say to them, "There's no such thing as doing it too much"? Because last night they didn't seem like they really got going into that until the fourth quarter, whereas tonight they looked like they wanted to push it end to end the whole way.
One of the things we talked about is we want to be an athletic, explosive team on both ends of the court. And last night, after the first quarter, I don't think you would have described our team as athletic, as fast, as quick, as explosive. And that certainly was not our identity on either side of the floor. And so tonight it was about simplification on what we wanted to do. And we wanted to be active and all those things. They were really able to get in the open court, and that's what I want. They enjoy being in the open court. We just need to remind them of how we get into the open court. And once we do, you can't just talk about it. You actually have to sacrifice. There were a lot of sacrifice runs today, where guys were filling the lanes out wide or ahead of the pack, making a cut through, and then somebody else would be open for a dish for a layup. And Dwayne and LeBron were recipients of a lot of that, but Chris Bosh was out there running the floor. Carlos made a couple of great sacrifice runs, and JJ did the same, and that really opened up the middle of the paint.
Erik, all of the big three, over 20 points tonight, and really crisp in particular, right-handed dunk, left-handed dunks, playing some center. Can you talk about what you saw from them?
Again, more process than result. I didn't really care about whether they were scoring over 20 points. It was more about being aggressive. Being athletic, being quick, and they all had a different disposition tonight. They were all extremely quick with the ball and aggressive, and the defense stopped it, okay, moved it, got it to somebody else. But Chris, right from the start, I didn't care. I told him that the first time out. He missed 2 layups then missed a jump shot. I didn't care. I was actually encouraged by his aggressiveness. That's who he is, and we can't take that away from any of our guys. But they were all very aggressive to start the game, and that set the tone.
The play where Williams is called for the flagrant on LeBron, is that just something this team's going to have to accept, that you're going to get those sort of efforts?
And those are tough plays. They're quick bang plays. I'm not saying they're easy for the officials to make on those. And there's a gray area when you have to determine, immediately whether it's excessive or not. And that was a hard physical foul. Fortunately, we were able to take it out of bounds from there as well. But again, you might have a lot of those plays too in transition, especially with the speed. These guys, when they get to hit a steam.
The paint denial on Lopez looked less comfortable. Talk about the paint denial on Lopez looked a little less comfortable.
Yeah, that was more, again, our activity, being able to disrupt all guys being in multiple places at once. It was not just one guy defending. He's too big, and really multiple guys had to do it. Our focus today was really to control those two areas, and so we wanted to win the paint, we wanted to win the glass. We had to do it on both ends. We were able to eliminate some of his deep catches by butt fronting him, coming early to help on the weak side, but on the other side of the floor also be able to put some pressure on him to defend and move his feet.
Joel only got 12 minutes. Was that just a matchup thing for that initiative?
More just the flow of the game, and the guys are all on the same page about that. Each game is different, and some games call for different guys to contribute.